All right, let's talk about how you analyze your chess games. Because today, we're going to show you how to take your most powerful study tool and turn it from a trap that's holding you back into your absolute greatest asset for getting better.
You know the drill, right? You finish a game, maybe you're frustrated, maybe you're excited, and the first thing you do is hit that game review button. You just kind of passively scroll through what the engine says, and hey, it feels productive. But what if I told you that habit, that instinct, might be the very thing keeping you stuck?
And this right here is the heart of the problem. It's what the source material calls the mirage of understanding. Think about it like this. It's like getting the answer key for a really tough math test. When you see the solution, you go, oh yeah, of course, that makes sense. But recognizing the answer isn't the same thing as actually knowing how to solve the problem yourself when you're under pressure with the clock ticking.
So what makes that instant game review such a dangerous trap? Look, the engine isn't wrong. It's practically perfect. But our brains, they're wired to take the easy way out. And when we're just handed the answer on a silver platter, we fall into a few nasty psychological habits that kill real learning.
It pretty much boils down to these three things. You've got the answer key effect, which means you skip the hard, sweaty work of actually finding the move yourself. Then there's numerical obsession, where you're stressing out over the evaluation bar jumping from plus 0.4 to plus 0.8, which, let's be honest, means almost nothing in a practical game between two humans. But the biggest one? You see what the best move is, but you totally, completely ignore why it's the best move.
And this slide lays it out perfectly. Passive review basically makes you a spectator in your own chess improvement. But active analysis, that makes you the hero of the story. You're not just recognizing answers anymore. You're literally building the pathways in your brain to understand the ideas behind the moves. And trust me, that is the only way to get better for real.
Okay, so how do we fix this whole mess? It's not about throwing away our engine. That would be crazy. It's about a total shift in mindset. We need a completely new philosophy for how we work with it. This quote, it says everything you need to know. You're the CEO. You're the one in charge. The engine is just your super brilliant, tireless intern. It can run all the numbers, check your work, find tactical shots, but it works for you. You have to be the one driving the analysis.
And here it is. This is where the magic happens. Real improvement in chess starts right at the edge of your comfort zone. You have to be willing to sit with a position, to struggle with it, to come up with your own bad ideas and calculate your own lines. It's only after you've done that hard work that you call in your assistant to check things over. If you're not wrestling with a position first, you're just not learning.
So the philosophy is great, but what does this look like in practice? How do we actually do it? Well, let's break down a super powerful, four-step method that turns all this theory into a concrete plan you can use after every single game.
This is the whole protocol. 4 steps. First, the silent review, where it's just you and the board. No help. Then the blunder audit, where you really deeply feel your mistakes. Step 3 is concept translation. This is where you turn computer speak into human chess wisdom. And finally, the what-if exploration. That's where you get curious. Every single step is designed to force you to actively engage.
Okay, step 1. And listen, this is non-negotiable. Before you even think about turning on that engine, you analyze on your own. Find that one moment where you felt things start to go wrong. And then physically write down what you were thinking. I played this move because I thought he was going to do that. You have to establish a baseline of what your brain was doing.
Now for the blunder audit. When you finally turn on the engine and it tells you a move was a mistake, don't just nod and go to the next move. No, you play your bad move on the board and you let the engine show you exactly how it punishes you. You need to feel that refutation, that pain as the quote says. That's what sears the lesson into your brain so you never forget it.
All right, next you have to become a translator. The engine thinks in numbers. You need to translate its suggestions into human chess ideas. So you ask, why is this move good? Is it a simple tactic I missed, like a fork or a pin? Is it a deep positional move, like improving my worst piece? Or is it one of those quiet, sneaky, prophylactic moves that just stops my opponent's whole plan before it even starts?
So once you have this method down, it's time to learn how to have a real dialogue. You see, a master analyst knows how to ask the right questions. Let's go over how you can actually talk to your engine to get the most out of it. This should be your first question, every single time. Before you even glance at the engine's top choice, play the move you were thinking about. Force the engine to show you why it doesn't work. This is so much more valuable than just being shown the right answer from the start.
You ever see this? The engine suggests some weird, quiet little move, and you have no earthly idea why. Here's the trick. To find out, just make a nothing move instead. Push a pawn on the other side of the board or something. Then see what the engine plays for your opponent. 9 times out of 10, it will unleash some devastating threat that you completely missed. And boom, now you get it.
And this is such a critical reality check. The engine might show an evaluation of +3, but it's in a position that's a complete tactical minefield where one wrong step and you lose. You have to step back and ask yourself, in a real game with my heart pounding and the clock ticking, could I actually win this? Sometimes a much simpler, cleaner position that's only +1.5 is way better for a human player. Now, to make sure this new way of thinking actually sticks, you've got to train it like a muscle. So let's look at a few killer exercises that will build these new habits and really forge your analytical skills. These are absolute game changers. First, endgame sparring. Try winning or drawing against the engine in a table-based endgame. That's a position that's been perfectly solved. The engine will play flawlessly, punishing every single tiny inaccuracy. It's brutal, but it forces you to develop incredible precision. Next, the Guess the Move challenge using GM games. This forces you to think about plans before you see the answer. And finally, the blunder collection. This isn't a list of shame, it's your personal roadmap, showing you exactly what patterns you keep falling for, so you know what to work on.
And this really brings us all the way back to the main point, doesn't it? We're not trying to become calculators. We are trying to become better human chess players with all our passion, our psychology, our brilliant moments, and our terrible blunders.
So here it is, the big takeaway. Use the engine to find the objective, cold, hard truth of a position. But use your own brain, through your own struggle, to find the human way to get to the win. Don't ever let this amazing tool replace your own thinking. Use it to sharpen your mind into a weapon.